My first memory of my mom is she's always in the kitchen and she's always cooking. Her food will be my first memory and her hugs.
The first memory of my mom has to be definitely her dropping me off at school. There's always making time to drop me off before work.
First memory I have of my mom is that when I was a kid, I had problems with my teeth, and so my two front teeth, and so the dentist had to pull them out. And after, I must have been like 3 or 4 years old. And after that, my mom just would come in and comfort me, I remember, and tell me everything's gonna be okay, that it's just temporary, and that's probably the first memory I have.
The first memory of my mom, I would say goes way back to, I was probably around 3 years old. And I remember her putting me in preschool and me crying the first few days and her having to come pick me up and kind of rescue me. So those are probably the earliest memories that I have of her.
My favorite memory with my mom must be my quinceañera, her being down of the aisle and me having to walk to her, and then at the end getting to hug her and both crying together.
A memory with her was being outdoors, doing camping every year. We did a family trip, and her just taking care of the whole camping trip, cooking and, making sure we were fine and just being outdoors with her. That was a great memory with her.
My favorite memory, I have a lot of them, but one of them, my mom is my rock. So for me, it was very important when I got married for both my mom and my dad to walk me down the aisle. So as of right now, that's my favorite moment of my mom, having her by my side.
The funniest memory I have with my mom is that when we were kids, when we were young, she would do this like bat face. She'd like put her teeth back, and like flap her hands just to make us laugh, and just, because she was never that outgoing, but for that moment, she would be really outgoing.
The funniest memory of my mom is the way she tells jokes. She can't finish the punchline. She's just, any story, any funny story, any joke, she loses her breath, she gets all red, sweaty and everything. As a matter of fact, I'm probably sweating now, and she's the same way.
Funniest memory had to be when I was 13. We were having a birthday party, and with the tray of food, she crashed into the window, and the food went flying, and we all laughed, and my dad was making fun of her too, saying, "You don't need a clown for your birthday, we have your mom." But yeah, so it would have to be that.
Funniest memory of my mom is, wasn't funny at the time. Now that I look back on it with my brothers and sisters, we all laugh about it, she was a real stickler for making us finish all of our food whenever at dinner. And to get us to finish our food, and you're talking about a brother and a sister and me that are less than a year apart. Between each one of us, we're all very close in age, and we weren't very affectionate with each other back then. We were very competitive and always fighting and always wanting our own space. So, 7, 8, 9-year-old kids that just hated to be around each other. Well, she would make us sit at the dinner table holding hands until we finished our food. The only time we could let go of each other's hands is if we were picking up the fork to put a bite of food in our mouth. And I remember us just crying our eyes out, little kids just hating to go through that. But it was hell back then. But it's funny now that we look back on it.
The values that my mom had taught me, and I still carry on today, is honesty and happiness. She told me to always be happy with myself, with what I do, and always to be honest with myself and with others.
The values that my mom tried to instill with me that I carry with me today are confidence, respect for others and myself, unconditional love, honesty, and hard work. Diligence is what she instilled the most, and I carry that with me till this day.
The value that my mom has always instilled in all of her children, especially me, being the only daughter, is that family is key, and we always have to be together, and we have to look after each other. Especially, during the holidays, she wants us all to be together. My parents would travel to Mexico quite a bit, So if there's holidays in between, I make sure that all my siblings come over to my house for the holidays, or they're always with me in any special occasion. I have, family.
The values that she instilled on me is a work ethic. Definitely, job, make sure you do your job, and if you're gonna do your job, you do it right and professional, and just, keep at it every day. Make sure, you at work, make sure you do your job, and make sure you have a job and keep working at it. Hard work pretty much is just what she instilled in me. Let me know that's the way of life, hard work.
My mother, I think, really instilled the values of honesty and integrity in my brothers and sister and me.